Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or much will depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos. News update. Publicly condemn herdsmen killings. Military, police roadblock, extortions, brutalities in Southeast Zone. Inter-society charges Southeast governors. Now, the International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law, that's the Inter-Society in short, has called on the Southeastern governors to come out from their shelves and state where they belong, whether with the people or with those oppressors that oppress the people of the Southeast Zone. Yes, said, come out, let us know on which side of the divide you are. For what is happening in the Southeast, the military invasion, the herdsmen killings, the roadblocks everywhere, extortions, brutalities, particularly from the armed forces. The people are receiving these brutalities from the armed forces that has occupied the region. They said, come out openly, condemn it. Emeka Umabalase, of course, is the leader of the Inter-Society in Nigeria. Yes, Umabalase. So he said, look, that the state governments in the Southeast must rise up. The issue of security summit, economic summit, he said no. He know that this thing will not work. He said he know it won't work. Nothing good will come out of it, since it is being hosted by the governor of Imo State. He said he is aware when they were organizing it. Said nothing good will come out of this security summit. Imo State government is in charge. Okay, let me quote part of the statement of Umabalase. Let me quote, several research and investigative reports by Inter-Society on insecurity and other unsafe conditions and those funding them. The Southeast have clearly indicated that nothing meaningful is most likely to come out of the Southeast Governors Security and Economic Summit. The choice of Owerri and the chief host of the summit is also integrity and morally questionable, like that of 2021 that culminated to launching of the Bubago Security Arrangement in April 2022, which turned to be friendly to the Southeast enemies and unfriendly to the defenseless citizens and properties of the region. The outcome of the 2023 Southeast Governors Security and Economic Summit will most likely end up being a mere talk show or glamour, blowing arena, or an effort in futility and another wasting of public funds. Apart from the fact that no meaningful economic growth and development will take place under an atmosphere of grisly and egregious insecurity and other unsafe conditions, as in the case of the present Southeast, particularly Imo State, there are no semblances of accountable governance. The fundamental essences of limited government services to the people in the region have been disappeared. As a matter of fact, the region inches away from collapsing into the Hobbesian state of nature, where life is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. That is to say that in the Southeast, all the fundamental essences of limited governance have been uprooted and services meant to be rendered to the original owners of the civil, limited government and governance bastardized and pushed back to them. The Southeast people's self-development ingenuities have also been bastardized and uprooted by those in charge of their public governances. Apart from public governances having been reduced to squandermania, sycophancy, propaganda, falsehood, corruption, and brigandage at individual state level, there are no iotas of collective or joint regional development plans or policies and actions by the Southeast governors. Such ambitious regional development would have seen the construction of the legs of the Southeast Mega Expressway with capacity of linking all the 5 Southeast states and the exits and entrances into and out of the region connected thereto. It is saddening and mocking that the jihadist Fùlâní herdsmen know the shortest routes connecting the 5 Southeast states than the 5 Southeast governors since 2015. The Fùlâní herdsmen have for long remotely identified shortest bush and footpath routes through which they abduct, hold captive, and move their southeast non-Muslim captives around the 5 southeast states in less than 4 days and return to their captives to the southeast triangle, where Enugu, Abia, Imo, and Anambra meet, from where they are killed or raped alive, or raped to death if non-menopausal women, or extorted and left alive with bruises or in a state of half-dead. The elusive joint Southeast mega projects include shortening and reducing the distance between the traveling from Awka to Enugu's 9th mile or capital city to less than 20 kilometers with a new dual carriageway between Amansia, Ebenebe, and Olo-Eke, Nigerian Railway's 9th mile, or shortening the route between southeast states of Anambra and Rivers Wharf, less than 2 hours journey, through a bridge, and dualization of Atani Ogwikbere Road to link Obaru and Ndoni in Rivers State, or shortening the route between the southeast states of Anambra and Kogi FCT with a dualized road, Anam River Bridge and Kogi FCT, or a railway project linking the 5 southeast states with a major terminal at the southeast triangle, or a Southeast Unity International Airport to be sited or located around the southeast triangle where Enugu, Anambra, Imo, Abia, and Ebonyi meet. The old order and primitive approaches by southeast governors to insecurity and other unsafe conditions have been responsible for escalation and worsening of security situations in the region. The present southeast governors have also been found to be so fearful that it looks as if they collectively or individually have skeletons in their cupboards or collective hidden agenda against their people. They are also afraid to publicly condemn the jihadist Fùlàní herdsmen and their atrocities in the region, that it looks as if they are collectively or individually a party to the so-called Makban Fùlàní loyalty agreement as possible preconditions for them to become governors of their states. The governors are also vigorously responsible for grisly rights abuses and violations by the drafted security agents and their chiefs in the region. This they have been doing by refusing to openly condemn the killings and burnings outside the law and by allocating public funds to security chiefs in aid of such atrocious acts. It is deeply saddening to know that while serious-minded elected and appointed public executives in economically and democratically advancing national and subnational entities have long moved away from gun culture, driven physical security to human security, and the 7 key dimensions of economic security: health security, food security, environmental security, community security, personal security, and physical security. Its governors have remained stuck in cock and shoot security, squandering billions of funds belonging to taxpayers with little or nothing to show for it. End of quote. Now, this is what the Umar Balashe have said about its governors.